Hello and welcome to another reading. My name is Josh, and this is Tarot with Josh. So we're going to do another pick a card today. Yeah, let's just go ahead and show you the cards that we're going to use to pick today. I like using this Imperial Dragon Oracle deck. It's very fun. Just gives us different dragons and stuff to pick from. So if you like dragons, then there you go. But here for pile number one, we got this Mischief card. Nice, cool red dragon. Pretty cool looking card. All right. And then for pile number two, we have the Imperial dragon here. And for pile number three, we have the Adversity card. Right. So if you want to take a moment, maybe take some deep breaths, settle into your body, decide which one of these resonates the most with you or you feel drawn to the most. Then we'll go ahead and hop on into our reading. Real quick, I do want to say, please take what resonates and leave the rest. If we're in the reading, whatever, and I'm talking about something and it doesn't feel like it resonates for you, either ignore that part of the message, or if the whole reading doesn't feel like it's making sense for you, then you can go to another one, or you can go to another video, or whatever else you would want to do with your day. All right, yeah. So don't put too much into it. It's we're just here for some fun. All right. Okay. Maybe a little bit of an insight into ourselves. Yeah, perfect. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Hello there, pile number one. If you chose this Mischief card, then this is going to be your reading. Very interesting energy immediately. I mean, starting off with some mischief. Maybe you've been getting into some mischief, or maybe you're feeling a little bit kind of like in a fuck around and find out kind of energy. Um, or maybe you felt like there's been a lot of mischief around you recently. If any of that kind of resonates, maybe that's a bit of extra confirmation that this reading's going to be for you. Um, Real quick, I really like the background here, what's going on. We got lots of lightning going on and clouds and stuff. And maybe there's a bit of like this storm that feels like it's going around you here. And maybe you're kind of sitting in this storm and not really like engaging with it as much as you maybe normally would in the past. But I am feeling called to read from this little booklet here, see what it says for us. Now, each of these dragon cards do correspond with a major arcana from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. This one corresponds with the devil. I wasn't sure which one it is, but of course, it's going to be the devil with the mischief energy here. Don't worry, that doesn't mean that it's literally the devil. It just means that there's that usually the devil can mean transformation. Um, Even for the energy in here, it says the chaos from which order is born. So, maybe it's been a bit of a chaotic time for you, or maybe you're someone who just enjoys a bit of chaos. The chaos can be kind of fun, and again, like can be where order is born from. I am seeing that the keyword meaning here is discernment. So maybe that's something that is kind of great importance to you. Maybe there's a bit of a call here for a little bit of discernment to kind of, especially if you are somebody who enjoys being in some chaotic energy, I think still having discernment in that chaotic energy can really help us not engage in things that we don't want to engage in, right? So here, let's read the commentary. It says, mischief is an energy that can bring chaos when it seeks to undermine stability or create illusion. To avoid being a victim of mischief, one has to break the bonds of ordinary perception and take practical actions to restore order. This card also reminds us not to take ourselves too seriously. Sometimes our inner child needs time to play. I feel like that last part really resonates deeply, um, at least for me personally. I mean, I feel like the um, taking things not so seriously. It's very easy to get caught up in um, taking life really seriously and like oh man, I got to do everything just right and do this and this and this and this and be productive and do this today and blah 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 blah. And it's like, but that's just going to be detrimental to our inner child, honestly, at the end of the day. And our inner child just kind of wants to play around. I mean, I know we all, we have our responsibilities and stuff, but I think it's still important to find time in our days to take a step back and let that inner child play a little bit, even in some mischievous energy. A little bit of mischief, a little bit of mischief is okay, like everything in what's the saying? It's why can't I think of it right now? Everything in moderation, right? Not everything in moderation, but you know what I mean. I'm also feeling called to read the meaning from this as well. And meaning says, don't become a slave to others' idea of what is right and wrong. You should always remain flexible and adaptable to change. Life sometimes has an ironic way of unfolding. If we lose our sense of humor, we may become discouraged by life's challenges. It is valuable to nurture the ability to discern between what really matters and what is not to be taken too seriously. So yeah, I think that's a very important energy, especially right now. I feel like nowadays there's I mean, in society in general, like there's such a big call to like take everything so seriously and like be distracted by this problem and that problem. And ultimately, what that does is takes us out of ourselves and makes us feel worse and worse about ourselves. And what's being called to do here is more of like taking a step back and realizing that, hey, if we can take a step out of those stories being told for a minute, maybe we can kind of realize, um, like life isn't going so terribly. Um, I know that can be a kind of a hard thing to say or do or hear in current times because there's a lot of really horrible things going on in the world. But I think that's makes it more important than ever to be able to take that step back and to um, let yourself find some pleasure and some joy in life, because that ultimately that positive energy is going to end up reverberating out into the rest of the world, right? So um, especially if you're feeling kind of like powerless to change certain things, I think part of something that's really powerful and a really powerful way to make some change in the world is to find that joy and to create that joy in your life and ultimately in other people's life as well. um, I mean, that's kind of like this idea of like this the spiritual warfare, right? It's like all the negativity versus all the positivity. And I mean, ultimately, there is no good or bad, really, if you take a step back and come from a neutral place. Can decide whether or not you want to engage with negative stuff going on or if you want to engage with more positive things going on. And um, ultimately, what we put out into the world is going to return back to us, right? So if we're putting out some good positivity, then we're going to receive some good positivity. Yeah, interesting stuff. Cool. Well, let's go move on to our next card here. Now the number on here is 47, which I don't know if that's a significant number for you. It, you know, some people do find that a significant numerology. If you add 4 plus 7, it equals 11, which is a power number in numerology. Might be something that might be another confirmation for you or something that this is for you. This card here is from our Getting into the Vortex deck. It is a deck that's all about getting into the vortex. Is from Esther and Jerry Hicks, who channel Abraham Hicks. And if you don't know who they are, you might want to look them up, especially if you find what we talk about with this card interesting at all. They have some really great channels and stuff on YouTube. Definitely go and look them up. There's lots of cool stuff there. But I love this deck. It's so much fun. The wording can be a little hard to understand or wrap your head around, but if you do spend some time watching those videos, you'll start to kind of get it and get like the verbiage that they use. It can be particular, but anyway. So here, what we got here is I'll envision the behavior I desire to inspire, which I think really ties into what we were talking about with the at the beginning of this reading here, where like if I'm acting in a way that is the way that I would like to see the world with, if I'm acting in a positive way or focusing on the positivity or creating some positivity in my life, then focusing on what I desire to inspire in other people, and that's going to reverberate out into the rest of the world, right? So on the back here, it says, if we were a parent or anyone wanting to inspire positive behavior from another, we would do our personal vibrational work first. Right? Focus on ourselves, make sure that we are um, doing that work ourselves. We would align with our source energy by envisioning the outcome we seek and by holding those involved as positive objects in our attention. We would not allow any current unwanted behavior to be the reason for our attention to them. Right. So, like, if you see unwanted behavior show up in your life, especially behavior that kind of will pull you back into that negativity, it's important to try to catch ourselves in that and recognize that that's going to be behavior that we don't want to engage in, and we want to kind of take a step back, focus on what we really want to focus on, which is that positivity, sending that positive energy inward and outward, ultimately. And then, where attention goes, energy grows, right? So if we're focusing our intention on the positive aspects of life or behaving in a positive way, then ultimately we can, or finding that positivity in that chaos too, then ultimately we can start doing the things that we want to do and attracting a little bit easier and better of a life. Okay. So now I want to get into the tarot here and see what comes through. So you can just kind of set your attention. Oh, that's so fun. We got the devil that came out with the tarot as well. So we got double devil energy here. Very fun. But yeah, you can just set your intention to receive whatever messages are meant to come out for you. See what else we're meant to hear today. Just send your energy into the tarot deck here. Yeah. I think that's so funny that we got the devil coming out again. I think that's more of a confirmation of what we're talking about here. Of like, it can be very easy to get trapped by that devil, by the enemy or whatever it is you believe. Some people will really believe like in that, and will get caught up in like, oh man, what's the enemy doing now? How do I always paying attention to what that negativity might be trying to get us to pay attention to, if that makes sense. Like, what I mean by that is like, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there talking about like all these people that are against you or whatever, trying to send you negative energy and all these things. But like, ultimately, these cards are really just confirming what I'm talking about here. But ultimately, the like, all that's doing is keeping your attention on that negativity and on those negative things that are happening in the world, right? Or on what anybody who is against you might be doing. Like, why are you paying so much attention to that when ultimately that doesn't matter? Whatever energy they're sending you, whether it's evil eye or negativity or wishing ill upon you or whatever, it doesn't matter, because ultimately you are protected, and and uh, if you're and it's just trying to pull your attention towards those things so that you can give your power away to those things and give those things power over you. But ultimately, it's important to remember that we have sovereignty for ourselves and we are in control of our own power. And where our attention goes, energy grows. So if we just focus on the positive things in our life and try to keep bringing our attention back to what it is we want to grow in our life, then ultimately that's going to be a lot more effective for bringing in the type of life that we want to see, right? Cool. And then we got the star to end it off there. Yeah, very cool. So again, we got the devil that came out right away. And then we had the Nine of Swords here, which I feel like this is kind of that energy of like other people, whatever other people might be saying to us, the kind of negativity, either saying to us or saying about us, or that kind of just that even that idea, like it may not even be true of like what other people are saying or thinking or feeling of us, but there's that voice inside our head that makes us think that like, oh, this person's thinking this negative thing about me, blah blah blah, or talking this negative way about me. And it's like a lot of the time we can think those things and feel those things without very much confirmation or any confirmation at all. And we stop giving people that benefit of the doubt that that might even not even be happening. I mean, ultimately we all have our own stories going on in our heads about our own lives, right? So I don't know. I think that focusing on that energy is just not going to be helpful for any of us. So I think there's a big call here to sort of examine where we're doing that in our lives and try to take ourselves out of that energy a little bit. Do that kind of work of catching us when we're in that and rewiring our own subconscious brain to, catch ourselves when we're doing that and start focusing on, what giving them the benefit of the doubt and then saying like, hey, let's focus on this positive thing going on. Or like, you don't necessarily, I'm not saying like you have to give everyone in your life like, oh no, they're actually thinking and doing all these positive things. I mean, ultimately if you're in a abuse, you know what I'm saying. If you're in a situation that's really not good for you, do what you can to get out of that. Of course, look for help, whatever. I'm not saying to just stay in that and think positively about that. What I'm saying here is when you're going it through your life in general, and especially interacting with people that maybe you're not living with or with in a super intimate way, it can be easy to think that those people are thinking or talking negative about us. And ultimately, whether or not they are doing that, it doesn't matter, because what matters is where we're spending our attention, where our energy is going day to day. And if we're focusing it on something, on our own stuff, on work, whatever we're working on whatever brings us joy, passion, and love into our life, then that's where the energy is going to grow, right? Um, and then, yeah, we also have the Five of Swords, but we got it in reverse here. I think this is maybe saying that like we're kind of starting to, it's a big mental thing, right? And I'm hoping that this reading is going to help you kind of work through this mental trap that can be there, and like see like, oh, this is what's going on. And maybe we can kind of take a step out of that and reverse this Five of Swords energy. Stop ruminating on the potential negative things that other people might be saying or doing to us or about us or whatever. Ultimately, as long as there's not the actual physical things coming to us, it doesn't matter. We can rise above that, and we can, stay in our own lane. And if people want to spend their energy trying to cut you down or bring you down in that sort of way, well, ultimately, that's on them. And like that's just more energy being sent to you. And we can alchemize that shit and like transmute that and focus that shit into, something that's actually going to be positive and creative for ourselves, into our own creative endeavors here. And then yeah, we got the Five of Wands. I feel like this is, very much that energy of other people trying to fight us in certain ways, or suck us into that energy there. But this Seven of Wands here kind of feels like very much like, we're beating that. We're stepping out of that energy. We're recognizing that energy, and we're able to shift out of that a little bit here, which is awesome. And that ultimately is going to bring us quite a bit of pentacles, quite a bit of success here. Yeah, this King of Pentacles here. This is going to bring us quite a bit of success with ourselves, with our own personal endeavors. Again, focusing on those positive things, really going to help get us through any chaotic times that we might find ourselves in currently. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse here, so I feel like this is kind of speaking to a little bit more of that. It's like that immature energy, like even if it was in the upright, I feel like it would be, a little immature, but at least positive, like emotional wise. Like I feel like maybe there's been quite a bit of that, like immature negative emotions circulating around us and in our fields generally. And those are the types of things that we want to try to take our attention away from. And this ultimately is going to bring us our Ace of Pentacles here. It's going to bring us that thing that we want to, that we're focusing on, that even if there's nothing specifically that you are like super passionate about or like working on right now, or like some big creative endeavor or whatever it is that you feel like is ultimately your passion, or your reason for being here, I guess. There's another word there I can't really think of. But I think ultimately doing this work here is going to help enlighten us into what is going to be our passion and what is going to be like our, man, why can't I think of that word? Our reason for being here, our purpose. Yeah. And stepping into that energy and engaging in all that stuff is going to put us in this reverse Seven of Pentacles energy. It's going to block us from any of those harvests that we might be that might start to show up for us. And stepping into that energy is going to kind of blind us and put like little blinders on our eyes to any of those pentacles that are going to be ready for us to harvest. But ultimately, I do see us, working through this energy here, and shining in that star energy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, very cool stuff. I am sending you so much love here, and I hope, like, I know you're gonna work through this, and I hope that this reading is kind of here as a push for you to as a reminder, just to don't take life so seriously, and remember that like ultimately you have the power for yourself, and you are the controller of your own reality here. Like you determine what's true and what's not. So if you're going to focus on all these negative ideas or ideas that other people are going to be against you or whatever, then you're going to manifest that. That's going to become true for you. But if you take a step back and you focus on, maybe these people are, got their own things going on or whatever. If feels like something might be happening, might not be happening. I don't know. I'm kind of losing my what I'm trying to say here, but I think you are. I think that's because you're getting it. You understand what I'm trying to say here, right? At least that's my hope. So here, let's move on to our last little card here. And if you're kind of having a little bit of issue with this sort of energy, hopefully this is going to be something that'll help us work through this energy here. Now, I think it will. So this is a crystal healing card. This is something I pulled just before we started the reading here, just so we could have the cards ready for us. But I have not looked at this until this moment. And I think this is, kind of really confirming our message here, which is just so good when that happens. But anyway, this is, all of these cards are in alignment with one of our chakra systems, so it can help us kind of work through that. So maybe you need to do a little bit of healing work on your sacral chakra, either yourself, or you can go and get some healing work done by somebody who does that. But here, the crystal here is going to be this orange selenite, which is a pretty cool looking crystal. Looks kind of like a dreamsicle, orange dreamsicle here, which is fun because it's underneath here. It says it's the manifester of dreams. So I think this is perfect for us. So it says our physical qualities for this crystal are it combines the Earth's strength and the moon's gentleness to provide calmness and strength in physical healing. Helps hips, lower back, gallstones, kidney stones, urinary tract, bones, and joints, can support feminine healing, alleviates nausea, and aids in fluid retention. So if you're having any sort of issues with those types of things, maybe picking up some orange selenite might help you out. There are also some emotional qualities here. It says it combines earth and moon energies to help visualize and manifest dreams and desires. And I think this is where it kind of works with what we've been working or talking about. It improves self-esteem, enhances pleasure and eroticism, while reducing associated shame and self-judgment. Improves intuition and creativity, and I feel like it'll really help us sort of manifest our desires into our lives more, and focus more on what we do want in our lives, without becoming attached to any of those outcomes, right? That's ultimately the challenge there. Then there's a little affirmation here we can say as well. That's I am the manifester of my dreams, and I think that's a great reminder for us in general here, especially as we're dealing with this chaotic energy. So here, let's take a look in the book real quick, because this gives us a bit more of an in-depth healing that we can do. If you do have any of this or are looking to go and pick some of this up, if you're a big crystal person, maybe you have a bunch of these crystals or crystals in general, there'll be a healing that you can do with those crystals here. But even if you don't have any of these crystals or don't have the ability to get these crystals, there's still a little bit of a healing that we can do here for ourselves. Okay, so don't think you can't get anything out of this, okay, because you can. So here, surround your body with alternating moonstone and orange selenite. Place an orange selenite on your lower belly, 2 or 3 inches above your pelvic bone. If you have a single terminated orange selenite, point the termination downward toward the earth. If you have a double terminated crystal, lay it horizontally. Position a smoky quartz crystal beneath your feet with the point facing upward. Place 2 or more orange selenite crystal points facing downward beneath your lower back on either side of your spine. Lay orange selenite crystals below your rib cage on either side of the body, 1 over each of your kidneys, points facing downward, placing a smaller orange selenite just below each of the ones on your kidneys. Hold an orange selenite on each hand, palms facing upwards. And now that's so you can put those in the positions that you want if you're the kind of person who has all this stuff, and you can then sit and do this like meditation that it's about to do. If you don't, you can just sit in this meditative energy and still kind of do this visualization that we were going to be doing here. So you can begin taking long, deep breaths, relaxing on each exhale. On each inhale, imagine yourself bringing energy into each one of the orange selenite crystals on your body, one by one, or you can just imagine this energy going into your sacral chakra, charging them with life force and healing energy. Next, focus on the orange selenite on your sacral chakra, or you can just imagine that energy going to your hands, then into your sacral chakra here. With each breath, imagine it glowing increasingly bright with brilliant orange light. Let this light spread throughout your body. Continue this healing practice for 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, I think it's kind of important to remember, like, we can be a little creative with this, right? And I think just sitting in meditation, and you could even just focus that healing orange energy into your hands in meditation, and then you could place your hands on your sacral chakra and channel that energy and think of that energy flowing into your sacral chakra if you're interested. If not, you can totally ignore this part. But yeah, anyway, pretty cool stuff here. I think that's all I got for us today. So if you've enjoyed or if you got something out of this, you can go ahead and leave a like down below. And if this resonated with you, you can let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you because that helps confirm that the things I'm saying are actually resonating for people, and um, helps give me a little bit of confirmation here too. Okay. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. And if you want to join me on this journey, I'm just kind of starting tarot here and doing tarot readings on the internet. So you can go ahead and subscribe, turn on the notification bell on to be notified of any of my future uploads. Yeah, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching this. Okay? All right. I love you. Bye. All right. Hello, pile number 2. If you chose the Imperial Dragon here, this is going to be your reading. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive on in here now. Immediately, I mean, this is the Imperial Dragon. I'm pretty sure this is Emperor energy. This is also, I believe, this is also the Emperor card in the Major Arcana normally with tarot decks. And which actually, wait, might be wrong about that. Hold on, let me double check because I'm thinking that a different card might actually be the Emperor in this one. This one always confuses me. Yeah, there is a different card that's actually the Emperor. So here, let's double check what this one actually is before I start jumping in on something like that. So we got. Oh, this is Strength. So I feel like these are kind of similar energies. Emperor and Strength feel similar to me at least. But yeah, this is Strength. So maybe this is maybe a little bit of a confirmation for you is that you feel like you've been stepping a little bit more into your own strength here, stepping into your own power, and or maybe this is a message of you have this coming in for you. You are about to be stepping into this energy of standing in your own power, feeling your strength, stuff like that. I do want to read the commentary in here. This book has wonderful little commentaries for these cards, so let's go ahead and read that. Says true strength arises from the fusion of female intuition, spiritual energy, and masculine strength. When masculine strength is exerted on its own, the underlying energy is one of dominance, which serves no higher purpose. However, feminine spiritual energy exerts a gentle but powerful restraining force on this male energy, allowing it to endure in spite of the most extreme challenges. The merging of your masculine and feminine sides is vital for overcoming obstacles on your spiritual path. Yeah, I keep forgetting that in the book here it does very much focus on that balance of the masculine and feminine energies. So maybe that's a little bit of something that you're kind of working with here. Um, kind of maybe this is work that you've been doing, or maybe you're being called to start doing this work. If you feel like you've been a little too much in your masculine dominating power there, maybe there's a bit of a call here to kind of tap into your feminine side, because we all have these both masculine and feminine energies within us, right? So it doesn't matter whether or not you're a male or a female or whatever your gender identity might be. We all have these energies within us, and maybe we felt a little bit in that domineering energy, and maybe there's a bit of a call here to let our feminine side come in and put a little bit of that restraining, not restraining force. I don't know. Balance out our masculine energy a little bit with that feminine energy. I'm feeling called to read the meaning here as well. So we got when presented with difficulties and challenges, we sometimes fear the potential sacrifices we will have to make in order to overcome them. But the sacrifices are never as much as we imagine, and the potential rewards are beyond our dreams. Have faith and understand that you have many strengths on the physical, emotional, and spiritual levels to draw on, right? And I feel like that's a great call to remember that, we are very powerful beings. Just remember that, like, you know, ultimately, like, you really do have so much power within you, whether or not you believe that right now. Trust me, you do have a lot of power, okay? Um, Cool. Let's go ahead and hop into our next card here. Now, this is a card from our Getting Into the Vortex deck, which is from Esther and Jerry Hicks, who channel Abraham Hicks. If you know who these people are, you might kind of know what we're about to be talking about a little bit here. If you don't, then this is just these are people who spend a lot of time talking about the law of attraction, stepping into your vortex to try and, which is stepping into alignment with your source, which is your like deepest and innermost truth, so that you may allow yourself to manifest the things that you truly desire. So yeah, here. The card we got here is number 23. That might be a significant number for you and a little bit of a confirmation that this is indeed your reading. And what we got here is it says, my manifestations are indicators of my beliefs. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, the things that do manifest in our lives are indicators of what we believe internally. So, it's important to pay attention to that stuff, because if we're manifesting things that we don't want to have in our lives, if things come into our lives that we don't want to have, then that means that there's a belief that we're believing that something that we're believing that is bringing that thing in. Like a great example would be a belief of, like, for myself would be the belief that doing this practice right now is an exhausting practice. That's a belief that's not true, because it's not innately exhausting. There can be exhausting energies that I deal with, but that doesn't mean that this is innately exhausting. I think that there's an important distinction there, and there's maybe some work in your own life that kind of you need to go through and do this and look at the beliefs that you have tied around something, especially if there's something that you enjoy doing, but you're not feeling that joy when you're doing it. Maybe we need to look at some beliefs that we might have around that thing in order to clear out beliefs that don't actually align with what we want. So here, on the back here, it says, it is always true that whatever you are living always matches your chronic vibrational patterns or beliefs. And it does not matter if you have an excellent excuse for your negative thoughts and your negative emotions, they still equal your point of attraction. What is manifesting on every subject in your life is an indicator of the beliefs you hold and your chronic patterns of thought. So yeah, this is speaking to, like, if we're thinking negatively to ourselves about certain things, like say this is a relationship or something, and we believe subconsciously that we are unlovable or we're not worth a loving, beautiful relationship. Well, then, we're going to manifest a relationship that's going to reinforce that belief. And we don't want that to happen. So it's important to do that inner work and really look at what we do believe about ourselves, and try and rewire our subconscious to do that, because ultimately this is old programming that we've been running off of, and it's important for us to go in and do that work to undo that programming and put in some new and better programming, right? And it takes work, and it's not easy to do. Ultimately, this is how you can lead yourself to live a better life, live an easier life in general. It's going to be hard work now, but the payoff down the road is going to be much better than just the instant gratification of staying stuck where we're at, right? So here, let's go ahead and jump into the tarot here and see if there's any other messages that want to come out for us. So you can just take a moment, take a deep breath, set your energy and intentions into the cards here. And we're just intending that whatever messages need to come out for the collective here, for pile number 2, come out. Whatever's in alignment with their greatest and highest good, and the highest and greatest good for all, come out. We got the 7 of Cups in reverse, which I feel like is, yeah, I feel like maybe when we're in that sort of, I feel like, the 7 of Cups could be those beliefs that we, believe that we're not exactly aware that we believe, that are indeed bringing in things that we don't want to have bring in, right? Those beliefs about ourselves or whatever that
that we need to work through here. And the reverse here, I think, is an indicator of either you have been doing this work, and that means that you have that you're doing great, or you are stepping into a time of your life where you're really starting to dive into this work, and which is ultimately going to bring you better things, right? Even if the cards don't tell us that, then it does mean that you're going to be bringing in the things that you're truly aligned with. And in fact, I mean, I don't even know if I need the cards. I feel like the message here is simply just a message of remember your own power. Remember that you are a powerful, multidimensional being, no matter who you are, and you will absolutely be able to do this. You'll be able to do this work if this is something that you haven't been doing, or if you have been doing this work, then you're doing great. I'm sure you're. If you have been doing this work, then maybe there's a bit of a call here to go easy on yourself too. Especially like even if you are just starting this process here. I think it's important to remember to don't put so much pressure on yourself. Because it can be so easy to let that inner critic like swing the opposite way and be like super perfectionistic about doing this work, and like, oh, I have to be absolutely perfect. I can't think any negative thoughts. No. And like that's not the message here either, because that's going to put too much stress on our systems. I think ultimately what's super important here, and what is the most important here with this energy, is just bringing awareness to these things happening. Even simply being aware that we have these beliefs is going to naturally start this work for us to undo these beliefs and allow them to release, right? As long as we're not continuing to act in the ways that these beliefs make us act, if that makes sense, then that's going to help undo these beliefs. It's really about awareness at the end of the day. And we also got that Three of Pentacles coming out here, so maybe this is kind of a sign that you might have some people coming into your life that'll allow you to that'll help you out with this process a little bit here, or a lot of it, or maybe even talking with the people in your life might you might find that they could have some, like, even talking about like, hey, if you're having trouble even seeing like what it is that negative that you do, maybe somebody else around you might have the insight to tell you what it is that you might be doing that, because I feel like the people around us can see us a little bit clearer than we can see ourselves sometimes, and that's not a bad thing or a good thing. And also remember that ultimately you make the decision there. Someone else does. That doesn't mean that somebody else definitely knows best for us. It's just important. Like, maybe you'll get a little bit of insight from talking to other people here. Okay. This does kind of feel like an energy that we've like already been working through. Though, because I mean, there's a lot of things coming out here. There's like the Tower in reverse coming out here. We also got like Two of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse here, King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, I'm feeling like maybe even there's a big call here just to take some time and sit in meditation and contemplation. Maybe we've been engaging a little too much with the technological world, with our screens. That can really distract us from doing this work and seeing ourselves in those ways. And maybe this is part of those negative cycles that we're stepping into here. And then I think as we do this work, we're going to step into the world here, of course. And we're going to really allow our lives to open up a lot more, because we're going to ultimately be bringing in things that are more in alignment with us. Yeah, there's even like the artist in reverse here, which the artist is all about creativity. Maybe we've lost a little bit of our creativity, maybe our passion for some creative pursuits here. And I feel like doing this process and taking a look at where we're, um, what our beliefs are around this thing might be exactly what's blocking you from being able to enjoy this creative pursuit that you otherwise would be enjoying normally, right? Let's see. Yeah, we also got the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and I want to look this one up because it's one that I'm still learning all these things, so bear with me here a little bit. Yeah, so maybe, yeah, so this is an energy of like irresponsibility, neglect, disorganization, unpredictability, and I feel like this is really just a confirmation that this is the message that you're meant to hear today. So, if you are still here, especially if you're still here for this reading, like this is definitely meant for you at this point, and this is something that you need to hear today, okay? Um, again, don't beat yourself up about this. Just take it one day at a time. And I think there's also like it's important to remember that like we don't have to take this so seriously. Like it's not like it's this is important work, absolutely, and this is kind of the reason that we're here ultimately. Why our souls wanted to incarnate onto this earth. At least that's what I believe. We're here to learn and grow and change, right? So um, I feel like it's also very important to remember that like to remember to find joy in things. Like if there's something that brings you joy in your life, and you know, don't just cut that out because you're like, no, I have to stay focused on doing this, and I have to blah 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 blah. It's super easy to get caught up in our heads, right? So whatever you can to ground yourself, bring yourself out of your head, and to just kind of relax into living your life in a joyful and positive way is also going to help you out a lot here. Um, and yeah, there's kind of like yeah, I'm just super called to this like Four of Cups here. Like this sitting in meditation and contemplation is probably going to help you out a lot here, especially if you feel like you're getting caught up in this a little too much. Taking a step back and just trying to breathe, take some deep breaths and focus our attention onto our breath is going to help us work through this energy a lot. And this is a process here, right? This is not something that's going to happen overnight. Um, and yeah, this is not something that's going to happen overnight, and this is something that takes time to do, and that's okay. Also, don't be afraid to ask for help from either those around you, or even if you just want to even share this sort of this energy that you're in right now with somebody who's a trusted person. Then I think there's a big call to do so, and you might find some comfort uh, in that. Yeah, but ultimately, I think like through this process, we're gonna. Oop, don't don't need to put the Yetis on the internet. But ultimately, this is gonna put us in the good energy with the world here, and it's gonna open up all these wonderful, beautiful options and allow the things that we want to come into our life to ultimately come into our lives, right? Yeah, very cool energy. Love this. Um, this is important work, and as somebody who has been very deep in this work for years now, um, I just want to say some like words of encouragement. Like you got this. Like this process for me at least has taken years to go through, and I went through this whole process of like examining every single thing in my life and um, looking at every single belief that I had and like working through it. And like this is still a process that I'm still doing to this day. But ultimately, what I'm seeing now is I don't know, things have gotten a lot easier now. for me at least, there was this big push to like I just got super obsessed with this. Like I had to do it. I had to do it. I couldn't stop doing it. And this is why I say like go easy on yourself. Like ultimately we're here for what, like 80 years old, you know, and no matter what age you are, there you still got time. You got plenty of time. And don't get too caught up in like the obsession of doing this work. I don't know. I'm really passionate about that because you can miss out on a lot of wonderful experiences that are still ripe and ready for you to enjoy in this life. Okay. Um, so yeah, you got this. You're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie. Oh Lord, you need some milk. I love that meme. Anyway, we're gonna take a look at our final card here now. This is from our crystal healing card deck. We got a crystal in this card, and these crystals are all in alignment with one of our chakras in our chakra system. This one's in alignment with our throat chakra. So maybe you need a little bit of throat chakra work, which I think is very prevalent here, just because it's all about truth and expression and advocating for ourselves and all that sort of stuff. But that truth there, I think ultimately, I think there's a real call to take an honest look at ourselves and our beliefs and think and work through what it is we truly do believe here. Okay. So, and this is great here. Maybe there's some beliefs around communication specifically that we need to work on, because this is turquoise, which is all about communication. It's a crystal all about communication. So maybe this is where some of these beliefs might lie, is like maybe you believe that you can't communicate in an honest way with other people around you because they're going to think that you're weird or this or that or the other. And I'll tell you right now, that's not true. And even if that is true, if you do have people in your life who will think that way about you, then what are you doing with those people? Like, why are you engaging with them? That's so unnecessary. That's such a negative energy to have in your life. Why would you want that? Anyway, um, the physical qualities for turquoise is that it treats issues in the throat, neck, ears, jaw, lungs, and bronchial system, improves respiratory function, helps treat laryngitis, chronic coughs, swollen glands, and throat cancer, supports hormone regulation, helps address hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, and regulated weight issues. So if any of that's something that you're having trouble dealing with, maybe picking up some turquoise might help you out here. There's also emotional qualities for this stone. It enables communication in all forms, helps draw out words to best express one's inner truth. So if you're having trouble with that, especially, you can pick up some turquoise, might help you out a little bit. Helps release withheld or suppressed communication, draws out physical, mental, and emotional negativity, releases emotional tension. And then there's an affirmation here at the bottom that we can use. It says, I freely express my deepest truths. And I feel like that's a big one here. I freely express my deepest truths, I feel like is a big affirmation that we can say to ourselves to help us work through this energy. Very cool stuff. So let's take a look here in the book real quick, because it gives us a little bit of a healing that we can do. Ooh. Sorry, just saw a really cool stone in here. It's a turquoise amazonite. Looks pretty cool. Got this like cloudy sort of look to it. Anyway, let's find our turquoise. If I can find it. It's in the throat, right? There it is. I don't know why I couldn't find it for a minute there. Anyway, so if you have this crystal, usually a lot of this crystal, there's a little bit of a healing that it tells you to do. Now, these healings call for usually a lot of crystals, a lot of different crystals. If you are somebody who has a lot of these, then you can actually do this. But even if you're not somebody who has a lot of these or doesn't have access to these or a way to get these, you can still do healing with this, and I'll tell you a little bit of how we can do that here in a moment. Okay, so if you have these crystals, you can encircle your body with 4, 6, or 8 turquoise crystals placed about 12 inches from your body. Then place a clear quartz crystal over your crown chakra with its point facing toward your body. Rest a smoky quartz or light black crystal beneath your feet with it pointing toward your body. Place a turquoise stone in the center of your throat, one on either side of your neck, one at the center of your breastbone, and a small one behind each ear. Hold a turquoise stone in each hand, lying down. Okay, hold a turquoise stone in each hand. So you can place those stones in that way if you have these crystals, and if you don't, you can still do this second part. Just use it as a little bit more of a meditation slash visualization type thing that you can do here. Okay. So you can lay down with your eyes closed, focused on the turquoise stone. And if you have just one of these, you can just focus on that turquoise stone on your throat chakra and imagine your breath flowing in and out of it. If your mind wanders, return your focus to your throat chakra. On every exhale, release anything that seems stuck in your throat. If you feel an impulse to voice something you haven't said, silently communicate the words that come to you, then release them. And you can even do that work if you don't have these stones. You could just focus on that throat chakra in that meditative state, and try to release this anything that feels like it might be stuck there. The stone just might help you out with that process. And then as you continue to breathe in and out of your throat chakra, imagine your entire throat area beginning to glow with turquoise light. Let this light fill your entire head, chest, and then your entire body. Relax in turquoise light, letting healing take place. So yeah, you can even just imagine that turquoise light shining on that too if you don't have these crystals. Okay. Cool. Well, beautiful reading pile number 2. I hope you got something out of that. And if you did, and you want to share your appreciation, you can go ahead and leave a like on this video. That's the best and easiest way to do so. Oh, and I think I got a Venmo too. So if you want to leave a tip or something, you can check that out down in the description as well. If you want to share what resonated, what didn't resonate, or even just leave a little nice message, you can share that down in the comments below. That is more than welcome. And if you would like to join me on this journey through tarot readings, you can subscribe, turn the notification bell on to be notified of any future uploads I do. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night whenever you're watching. All right. Love you. Bye. Hello there, pile number 3. If you chose this adversity card here, then this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. Now, the adversity card, maybe we're feeling like we're dealing with a little bit of adversity in our life right now, or maybe we feel like there's a lot of adversaries around us, or I don't know. This is also the supposed to be the Chariot card from the normal Rider Waite Tarot deck. It's one of the major Arcana cards. So if so maybe we're just kind of starting to step into a little bit more of a fast-moving energy here. Maybe we're learning how to deal with adversity in a better way here, or maybe we need a little what's the word? Need a little bit of reassurance of how to deal with this adversity, or that we are doing great with dealing with adversity. So if any of that feels like it resonates for you, then hopefully there's a message in here for you. All right, cool. So right away, I do want to look at what our commentary says in the booklet here for the adversity card. So the energy for this card is rising to meet the challenge. So maybe there's even just a call here for you to rise to meet some sort of challenge that you're dealing with. Maybe you're just having trouble like dealing with some sort of challenge. Maybe there's a challenge that's come up that's really just like got you down in the dumps. And this reading is here to tell you that you got this and you can rise to deal with this challenge, and you can deal with anything that comes into your life. I mean, you've made it this far, right? So yeah. Let's see what the commentary says. It says, there is only one constant in the universe, and that is change. In order to know things at a deeper level, we must first forget what we already think we know. Change is the energy that makes this possible. Adversity, excuse me, there's a lot of burps coming through. Adversity always brings with it the power of self-development, for the challenging situations in life teach us the most. Meaning, unfamiliar situations tempt us to revert to old patterns of behavior, which makes history repeat itself. It is only through strength of mind that we can conquer our fears and ascend to new levels of thought and self. Victory comes through consistent effort and openness to the idea of greatness. We each hold within us the power to see things through to their conclusion. And I think that's an important thing to remember, especially if you feel like you've been struggling with some sort of challenge or adversity in your life. Maybe you just need a little bit of a reminder that you are a powerful being and you have all the knowledge within yourself to be able to deal with this challenge. Okay, so hopefully this is kind of just a reassuring message for you. So let's go ahead and grab our next card here. Now, this is a card from the Getting Into the Vortex deck, which is a deck from Esther and Jerry Hicks, who channel Abraham Hicks. And Abraham Hicks was a motivational speaker talking about this idea of stepping into your own vortex, which is kind of the alignment with your source so that you're able to live an easier and more carefree life and manifest the things that you desire a lot easier. Step into that point of attraction so that kind of like the law of attraction type stuff. So if that interests you at all and you haven't heard of them before, you might want to go and look them up and listen to some of the stuff that they got on YouTube. Lots of really cool stuff in there. And if you are familiar with them, hopefully you find a little bit of an insight you haven't heard before from them here. So yeah, anyway, I love these cards. They're super fun. So we got number 34 here. Maybe that's some sort of confirmation for you, some significant number for you. But it says inspired action is always pleasurable action. So maybe there's a little bit of a call here to take some inspired action. If you feel inspired to do something, and even if it's not to do with whatever this challenge or adversity you're seeing in your life, maybe that's something that's going to help you deal with this challenge a little bit in a way that you can't quite see yet. But let's see what it says on the back here. It says, the dominance of your thoughts is what brings everything to you and is what is behind the action that you offer. By seeking good feeling thoughts that align you with your source, your action will then always feel good. You cannot muster enough action to compensate for misaligned thought, but action that is inspired from aligned thought is always pleasurable action. So yeah, I think there's maybe a little bit of a call to focus a little bit more on what is a pleasurable action that we can do, or where are we feeling called to take action, where do we feel like internally like our intuition is pulling us to take action or do certain things. Like for me, it's doing these readings here. This is exactly like, this is what brings me a lot of pleasure, so maybe there's something like that for you, or that thing that like you keep telling yourself you want to do but you just don't do. Maybe just there's a call here to start doing that. Why not? I mean, just fuck it, right? Cool. So I want to hop into our tarot deck here now. So what you can do is you can just kind of send your energy into this deck here with the intention that the messages that you're meant to hear at this time come through that are in alignment with your highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of all. And then we'll see what Spirit wants to say. And I mean, I just kind of want to say, like, there are challenges that we're dealing with. I don't know specifically what it is that you might be dealing with in your life, although I do know that whatever it is, again, you have all the knowledge within yourself to get through this. And I think that that's kind of the biggest message here is a reminder that you are a powerful being yourself, and whatever disempowering thoughts you might have, especially related to whatever this adversity or challenge is, maybe is something that we want to take a look at and work through. If you felt called to at all to check out pile number 2, you might find some messages in there. Like if that specifically resonated with you, what I just said, you really might want to take a look at pile number 2. That's where we're talking about like looking at the beliefs that we have, the subconscious beliefs that we have in life, and trying to undo and rework that process. And I think I said things better there than I will say them here, just trying to repeat myself, right? So let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I am feeling a little bit of the same energy here with from pile number 2. And like I intentionally, put some intention in this to clear that energy out. But maybe you're somebody who also needs to hear this. So, I mean, we got the Four of Cups here, which is a contemplative. It's like a call to meditate. It's a or contemplate, or maybe unplug from our screens a little bit here. Sit in our own meditation, and through doing that, you might find some messages will come through for you from your higher self that will help you with whatever it is that you are challenged by currently in your life. We also have the sun in reverse, so maybe we're kind of feeling like we're in a bit of that, like we're in a little bit of a lack mindset. We're not really feeling too good about ourselves. Okay, yeah, so I'm feeling a little bit of past, present, future energy here. So we got 3 cards out. We got the sun in the past position, or the sun in reverse in the past position. Then we got 4 of cups in the upright in our present position, and then death in reverse in our future position. And I feel like um, this sun in reverse is kind of energy that we've been dealing with, but with this call to sit and meditate and contemplate, we'll receive some sort of insight that's going to help us through through this energy and bring in a bit positive, more positive of an energy here. Now, I do want to take a look at the death in reverse. Okay, maybe a little bit less of the future energy, or maybe or maybe just this process will also help us with any sort of resistance or stagnation that we may feel in the future. Maybe there's a bit of a call to prepare ourselves for some sort of resistance or stagnation that we see in the future. I don't know, just kind of what's coming through here. Now let's see if there's any more cards that want to come through for us. Spirit, is there any messages, any other messages the pile number 3 needs to hear at this moment in time? The Ace of Cups in reverse. There's a lot of there's a lot of resistant energy here. There's a lot of challenges going on here. I'm feeling like I want to give you a hug, pile number 3. Sounds like you're kind of having a pretty tough time with the sun in reverse here, the death in reverse here, and the Ace of Cups in reverse here. I mean, I'm really sorry. I hope things are not going. I hope even if things are not going super well for you, that there is some light in your life. I if you're really struggling, I do hope that you find some help. Either look up a help hotline or something like that. If it's an emergency sort of situation like that, please do look for that sort of help. There are plenty of resources out there that do want to help you. And I know it can be hard to kind of do that stuff, but it's important, okay? You are valuable. You are loved, and we need you. We want you here. Not only do we need you, but we also want you here. You have something unique and special to offer to the world, and only you can put that into the world. Only you can bring that in. There's a perspective here. There's a unique perspective that you have that nobody else has. And I know it can be really hard to see that or think that you're valuable enough for that or anything like that. I want to say that I really do understand this. I've been there myself, I just want to remind you that even if nobody else will tell you in your life, I'll tell you I love you and I want you here. Okay? So please, please, please get some help. Um, and remember that you've got this. And nothing is permanent, and I feel like the adversity card here very much speaks to this. It's talks about, even in the commentary, it was talking about how there's change. There's a lot of change in the world, and the only constant is change, which can be a good and bad thing depending on how you look at it. I think it's a good thing because it means that anything bad that we're dealing with ultimately won't stick around. That energy of like whatever it feels like you might be struggling with right now, really might yeah, whatever it feels like you're struggling with right now, um, maybe you need a little bit of a reminder that this isn't permanent. This won't be a thing for forever. And even if it's a really hard thing, like I don't know, I'm feeling an energy of grief. So maybe we've had some big loss recently. And if that's the case, then I'm really sorry to hear that. And I want you to know that whoever it is or whatever it is that we've lost really loves you, and um, ultimately is here for you on the other side. Okay. Um, Now I feel like I have had some medium experiences. I don't care too much to engage in that. But I am feeling a message here of someone on the other side saying hi and that they love you, and that they're here for you. Okay. And there's a lot of really rough energy here. Yeah, whoever you are, seriously, I want you to know that you are loved. You are cared for. I want to reiterate the importance of looking for that help and assistance in any resources that, whether it's a hot helpline, or even if it's therapy, there's BetterHelp, which can be an affordable option. It can be a little hard to find a therapist that works for you on there, but working through that and working with that process there can be really helpful. And maybe even like looking at either the other two piles here might give you some messages that you might need to hear. There's a lot of there's a big heavy energy here, and um, man, this is uh, hard to read for. This is the first time I've really seen this much heaviness come through with the cards and everything. So bear with me. Appreciate you. But yeah, it's not all negative because we do have the Wheel of Fortune that came out in reverse, not in the reverse, in the upright here, and the Wheel of Fortune. I think maybe we've had a lot of heaviness happen either recently or currently, but this is coming through as a bit of a reminder that this, with the adversity card here, like whatever it is you're going through or struggling with right now is not going to last forever, and soon, if not very soon, that wheel will turn, and we'll find some fortune out of this. Now, I myself have gone through a lot of really difficult things. I've had a pretty tough life, lots of trauma, lots of bullshit has happened in my life. And the way that I kind of look at things and look at the way like everything that's happened is kind of reminding myself that the things that happen to us in our life are not what make us who we are. the things that happen in our life, what makes us who we are is how we relate to the things that happen in our life. And it can be very easy to get caught up in a story of like, oh, this is happening to me because I'm a shitty person, or this, that, and the other. And I think that there's a call here to say, hey, hang on, wait a minute. Is that actually true? Are you actually a shitty person? Because if that's something that you believe, I think I would like to challenge that belief right now. Because I want to tell you that even though I don't know you, and I've literally never even seen your face before, I know that you are a person who is worthy of love, who is worthy of positive things happening to them, who is worthy of. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Who is worthy of having positivity in your life as well. Okay, you are not a shitty person. These things are not happening to you because you're a shitty person. I would say that I know it can be hard to hear this, and it can be very like, oh yeah, whatever, blah blah blah. But something that's truly helped me is remembering that like these things, these negative things that happen in our lives um, are are teaching us how to be stronger, how to be more resilient, how to handle tough things in our lives. Um, and ultimately, I know that you're somebody who can handle this, and you wouldn't be in this scenario if it wasn't something that you couldn't handle. If you're somebody who's found this video, you probably are somebody who's into these esoteric ideas a little bit, right? Um, and I feel like just that alone, you probably know or have heard that you are, or that I don't know. I think right now there's a lot of spiritual attacks that are kind of going on. Um, a lot of things happening in a lot of people's lives, especially people who are um, big bright lights in this world. There's a lot of things that are kind of against us. There's a lot of energies out there and entities out there that want to see, that are like freaking out right now because more and more people are waking up, more and more people are stepping into this light, and these negative energies that have been thriving off of people who are unaware of their power, who are unaware of their light, are now losing it and doing anything that they can to try and regain any sort of power that they're, all this power that they're losing. And I want to remind you that whatever it is in your life that you feel powerless against is something that wants you to feel powerless against it. And I'm here to tell you that you are not powerless against this. You have the power, and all it takes is you claiming that power back. Just even if it takes just saying to yourself, this thing doesn't have power over me. I call my power back to myself. I just that alone. mm, Just reminding ourselves that we have the power to whatever it is that's trying to take our power doesn't have the ability to do that unless we give it that permission to do so. Even if it's a subconscious thing and you've never actively given it the permission, if you have a belief inside of yourself that is giving, or that thinks that this thing can affect you in this way, whatever it is, um, ultimately that is you giving away your power to this thing. And if you call that power back to yourself and remind yourself that you are a powerful being, I mean, there's a lot of great energy here just in the reverse. We have the Emperor, it's in reverse, but we have the Hierophant in reverse. We have the Sun in reverse. We have um, lots of really powerful cards here. They're in the reverse. I think that we've been a little caught up in giving our power away to others, giving our power away to certain things. Maybe it's a substance, maybe it's another person, maybe it's even just some sort of idea or belief that we have about ourselves. I think ultimately we, it's important to remember that we have the power to decide what we believe, and we have the power to decide what we believe in ourselves. And if and simply with that knowledge and like calling our power back to ourselves, we can take these reverses and flip them on their head and step into this Emperor energy and this Hierophant energy, and ultimately bring in the Sun energy to us, that bright, loving, beautiful energy. And I know that's something that you want, and I know that that's something that you might feel like is not meant for you or whatever. But I want you to take a look at that belief right there. That belief right there is thinking that that's not meant for you, that that's not something that can be for you. That right there is exactly what I'm talking about. That is a belief that you are giving your power away to and giving power to. If you take that back and you remind yourself that you are a powerful being that does deserve to have good things happen to them, that's exactly how you can turn that wheel and allow those things to flip on their head and start bringing in that lovely, beautiful energy that wants to come in for you. The universe is not an evil place that wants to beat us down and hurt us or anything like that. But the universe wants us to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And sometimes it takes going through some really difficult challenges to get there. But that just means that you have a big light that's really meant to change a lot of lives here. And the biggest life that's meant to be changed is yours. Okay, so please take some time with yourself, and maybe finding some meditations or something online might help you out. Taking some time to really just focus on your breath, come back to center, and start believing in yourself a little bit more and take back your power. I think that'll help you out the most here. Okay. Um, Really heavy reading here. If this is found you, I am sending you so much love. I just hope you can feel that and believe in that, and believe me when I say that you are loved, and you you are meant to be here. Okay. And I keep tearing up because, oh, I've been here. It's not fun energy. Um, yeah. So I want to move on to our last little card here. This is a crystal healing card, and so if you're somebody who likes crystals, this might be a crystal that you might want to pick up. Might help you out a little bit. And these are all in alignment with one of our chakras, so maybe there's some sacral chakra work that needs to be done here. And the card that we got is Orange Calcite. And underneath here it says erotic sensuality. Maybe that's has to do with something that you're dealing with. I don't know. But the physical qualities for this crystal is it provides gentle healing to assuage fear and prevent resistance to healing, which sounds like that might be something that you are dealing with. Maybe there is a bit of a resistance to healing here. That and this crystal would help you out. And it restores, protects, and strengthens the body and can aid in addressing gynecological problems, pregnancy, infertility, miscarriages, prostate, and testicular diseases. Endometriosis, ovarian cysts, and urinary tract problems boosts sexual energy. And I want to say that if you do feel like there's an entity or something that's attacking you, a big thing that you can do is to just say either to yourself or out loud or whatever that um, you can ask God, the universe, or just beings that are in alignment with the highest level of unconditional love and light, please bless and protect me. And that alone will help uh, you will immediately enact divine protection for you against those entities. Okay, especially if you feel like you've been attacked spiritually or psychically or anything like that. Just that phrase right there can help you out a lot. And I would recommend maybe looking up some protection measures, some grounding, clearing. Even if you got to go out and find somebody who can do that for you or something like that, like I recommend doing it yourself because that's just going to help empower yourself and build your own connection with source, with this divine light for yourself. But yeah, that might help you out a lot. And the emotional qualities here for this crystal are it's empowering, it facilitates erotic, loving sensuality, instills positivity and a sense of capability, boosts one's ability to manifest goals and dreams, increases creativity, eliminates guilt and shame related to experiencing pleasure, offers innovation to support healthy patterns in life. And then the affirmation here is I am erotically sensual. I don't know if this has anything to do with sex or anything for you, but if it does, then maybe that's a bit of a confirmation for you. I don't want to necessarily just put that out there, but you know, maybe that's a bit of a confirmation here. But here, let's get into a little bit deeper of a healing that you can do with this crystal if you are somebody who uh, is into crystals and you have a bunch of these or have a bunch of crystals in general. You might be able to do this healing. Even if you don't, you can still sit in meditation and kind of do this visualization that we'll get into here in a moment, and you'll still gain some benefits from it. Okay, so you can lie down and surround yourself with alternating rose quartz and orange calcite crystals. Place 6 inches away from your body. Place a clear quartz crystal on your crown chakra with its point facing upward. Place a light brown smoky quartz beneath your feet. Place a rose Place a rose quartz on your heart chakra. Position an orange calcite on your sacral chakra, about 2 inches above your pelvic bone, and surround it with 4 smaller orange calcites, one above, one below, and one on either side. Between the smaller calcites, place equal sized Herkimer diamond or clear quartz crystals, pointing them inward toward the center crystal. Hold an orange calcite in each upward facing palm. And then here's what you can do if you don't have these crystals. You can just begin taking gentle, deep breaths, focusing on your heart chakra, and imagine each breath flowing in and out of it. With each breath, focus on your own sense of self within your heart, maintaining your focus. Let your sense of self grow stronger with each breath. Continue for 10 minutes. I think this is where the really powerful stuff comes in, especially if this has been resonating with you so far. That right there, even just sitting in meditation and maintaining your focus and letting your sense of self grow stronger with each breath, like really putting that intention into it, can help you out a lot. You can shift your attention to the orange calcite on your sacral chakra and feel your breath flowing in and out of it. Concentrate your aware, or you can just focus your attention on your sacral chakra, which is just right above your pubic bone. And you can just feel your breath flowing in and out of it, and concentrate your awareness on your sacral chakra until you begin to feel a buzzing, pulsating, or whirring sensation at its center. Let this feeling grow as you silently repeat these words to yourself. I am instinctively, naturally, and joyfully erotic and sensual. Continue for at least 10 minutes or for however long you'd like. So there you go. I hope this helps out. I hope this reading has helped you out. I really hope so. And if it hasn't, please go and find a resource that will help you. I know I believe in you. I know you got this. Okay. Yeah. Sending you so much love. Um, And if this has resonated with you and you want to share your appreciation, you can leave a like down below. Or if this has resonated with you and you're on some sort of point of this journey and you want to give some words of encouragement to anybody else who this reading might resonate with, then you can leave a message down below. Especially if you have any resources for people to go to, you can leave that down below too. That'd be a great thing for people. And yeah, if you want to join me on this journey at all, you can subscribe and turn on the notification bell on to be notified of any of my future uploads. And yeah, I really hope you're having uh, 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 a little bit better of a time at the very least here after this reading. Okay, I'm sending you lots of love, and I hope you can feel it. Okay, I love you so much, and have a great rest of your day and night. Okay, bye.